NFL scripted or is it not?
Man, I think they got billions of reasons to have an interest in who's there.
Is the NFL scripted? And I'm going to yell it a little louder because I don't think you heard me. Is the NFL scripted or is it not?
Absolutely. There you go.
Okay. Now that we got that out of the way, so you're a flat earther, NFL scripted.
No,
We're going all the way that way. All the way with
all the other
conspiracy
conspiracies, but sometimes when you start labeling yourself sports entertainment and there's billions of dollars on the line, I don't believe there's not some people, blowing some wind in the sail to make the boat move, if that makes sense.
Welcome to Big B Daily. No frauds allowed.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Big B Daily. This is your man, Brien Hanley, Big B. We are live on YouTube and we are live on TikTok. I appreciate everybody being here. What is going on with you guys? Man, this NFL stuff, look, I know it's the offseason, but is there ever really an offseason in the NFL? Free agency is going berserk. I love it. A lot of different things are going on. We're covering some stuff today. Derrick Henry going to the Ravens. Mahomes freeing up room for the Chiefs to make some moves, most likely trying to get Snead back in the fold, out or off the tag anyway. NFL free agency technically doesn't even start until 4 o'clock Eastern time today. We're going to cover all that and more. I appreciate everybody being here. As always, if you are on TikTok, continue to tap that screen. We want as many people in here as possible. We're looking for at least 5,000 likes and 30 new follows. So if you're in here and you're not following, give us a follow. We appreciate you. Same thing on YouTube. Go ahead, subscribe if you have not subscribed already. We appreciate everybody being in here. Let's get to this. So, Derrick Henry, man, going to the Ravens. I think a lot of people, me as a Steelers fan, that made me nervous all along, and now I'm worried. I am worried. And I know a lot of people don't think that the read option is a thing because Derrick Henry needs to go downhill. Hey, man, if an offensive coordinator has any type of ability to create space, room, plays, something, they're going to be able to make that work. They'll be able to make that work regardless. Run the pistol if that's what you got to do. Play action pass. I mean, if we don't like Lamar throwing the football, we know Lamar can throw to wide open people. And with that running game, the play action pass, people are going to be wide open. That's what I know. People are going to be wide open. So it's Derrick Henry going there is basically every AFC team saying, damn. That's what you heard. You heard a big collective damn when the word came out that he was going to sign with Baltimore. I thought he was going to Dallas. Somebody's saying Henry's washed up, but he ran for 1,000 yards last year with bad quarterback play and a pathetic offensive line. Learn more football, my guy. Don't be a hater. I know that's the thing. Washed. Everybody's washed. That's what the young people say. He's washed. But yet he was still productive with pathetic play. So it's always something. But Derrick Henry going to Baltimore. Oh. So, and just because he's old doesn't mean that somebody isn't good, my friend. You act like because somebody's old, that means they're not any good anymore. Did he look old last year? No. Lord have mercy. Come on, people. We can't start off this way today. We're already starting off with the crazy talk. Let's not do that today. We're trying to have a good day. So, Henry is fine. He will be fine. And you put him in that offense, or let me just ask you this question for people that think that Derrick Henry's not any good, can't do it. Do we think that Derrick Henry is better than the running backs that the Ravens had last year? If anybody says no, you can leave because we're talking serious football people here. So, do we think that Derrick Henry is better than what they had? And since we know that he is, and they led the league in rushing last year, doesn't that make their rushing attack better? And I'm just asking. Again, I'm just asking questions. That's what I'm saying. I know it's cool to be the guy that argues all the time. And it's cool to be the person to get online and say that something exactly the opposite. But come on, man. They're going to be better. Barring injury to lineman, him, whoever. I mean, you know, and nobody procrastinates and goes and says, oh, somebody's going to be hurt. That's not what they do. So they're going to be better. They're going to be better. That's the thing. It's an upgrade. It's an upgrade. And to say that he's not going to be as impactful as people expect, what do people expect? I mean, does anybody expect him to go run for 1,500 yards? I don't think so. I mean, they act like they're going to give the ball to him 35 times a game. That's not what they're going to do. I mean, so anybody that's expecting him to run for 1,600 yards, that would be a mistake. But to say that he's not going to make that offense better, you're lying to yourself. It's just plain and simple. He's better than what they had. They led the league in rushing last year. They had the best rushing attack in the NFL, and now they got a better runner. I mean, tell me how that makes you worse. I mean, come on. We'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. But again, AFC collectively said, damn. In particular, in the AFC North, the Steelers, my Steelers, the Browns, the Bengals all said, come on, man. I don't think it's a bad move at all. I love the move, per se. I think he's going to be good. How they use him and how he's going to be, like, you know, he don't catch a lot of balls out of the backfield. But can they get him involved in the screen game? Like on first down. Can they get him involved in the screen game? I think he can. I think they can use him that way. I'm not saying you're going to run him out on routes and, you know, and Z routes or angle routes, stuff like that. I'm not saying you're going to do that. But can you get Derrick Henry involved more in the screen game? Yeah, I think you can. And I think it would be trouble for teams. I just, people thinking that it's not going to be an upgrade for Baltimore. Either you're jealous, you don't know football, or you're in the division and you just are hoping that it isn't true, because they're going to be better. That offense will be better. Now, do they still need another weapon outside? Yeah, they do. You know, do they still need more? Yeah, they do. But that running attack got better yesterday. End of story. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. They got better. And losing Patrick Queen, I love it because, again, I'm a Steelers fan. And Patrick Queen is really good, but was Patrick Queen good because he played next to Roquan Smith? Or was he good because he just got better over time? That's a big question. That's a big question. You know, there's a lot of linebackers that look good when you play next to somebody that's extremely talented. But I think it's a little bit of both, actually. Yeah, Zeke, I think it's a little bit of both. I think because Patrick Queen's not great against the pass. He's not great in coverage, but he's outstanding against the run. Outstanding. So I think the Steelers got something. So I think we'll see. We'll see. I like Patrick Queen. I think it's an upgrade definitely an upgrade for the Steelers. And that's another thing people are saying, well, maybe he wasn't that good. The Steelers linebacking core was bad last year. Not to mention they all got hurt. Him coming in only makes them better, whether he's good or not. If he just plays decent, he's better than what the Steelers have in middle linebacker. So that's an upgrade. My man Hooligan says, I think Henry's best years are behind him instead of in front of him. It's also an essence of 1-year deal. The second is voidable. Everybody knows that his best years are absolutely behind him. That's not in question here. But is he going to be effective? Yes. Saying that he can't be effective is crazy talk, because he's absolutely going to be effective. He's still good. And he's going into a system that they're going to value him. So he'll be good. He's an upgrade in that room for sure. So definitely for sure. And that's another good point, Hooligan. Henry with Mitchell is a scary tandem. Yeah, it is. Henry with Mitchell. Think about this. If they put Henry, Mitchell, and Lamar Jackson in the backfield all at once, and they run some sort of a cross buck, what are you going to do? What's the defense going to do? Now, hopefully they got some offensive innovation that'll be able to do that from time to time. But there's stuff that they can do, man. There's things that they can do now. It'll be interesting. It'll be, I'm interested to see. I don't like it because, again, as a Steelers fan, I'm not going to like it because it could be tough. But I like what they got going on. So it's also the visual of having Henry, a yard and a yard with a pit bull in it. There's a difference. That's right. Even if the pit bull is old. That's a great analogy by Darren Howard. Think of you having a yard and a yard with a pit bull in it. That pit bull could be as soft as cotton. But me walking by, I don't know that. All I see is a pit bull. That pit bull could also be 11 years old. That doesn't mean anything to me. All I see is a pit bull. There's the difference. There's the difference. So, exactly, Zeke. Patrick Ricard blocking for Henry. I know Juszczyk gets a lot of pub for being the best fullback because, first of all, there's not a lot of fullbacks in the NFL anymore. But I'm thinking he is probably the best fullback in the NFL. Just my opinion, though. Ooh, it's ugly. It's ugly. And I don't like it. Damn it. And I think I speak for all of the AFC North. Come on, man. Well, come on. Jerry Jones, why didn't you sign Derrick Henry? But we'll get to Dallas later. We'll get to them later. Let's move on. Again, as always, everybody, live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time. We appreciate everybody showing up. We've been growing. We've been growing like crazy. We appreciate it. If you're on TikTok, please give us a follow if you are not following us already. And more importantly, please subscribe to us. Click the subscribe button. Subscribe to Big B Sports Talk. You can pick up your Big B Bracket Challenge. Use the promo code, and it's free. Everybody on YouTube, do the same thing, man. Click on the link in my bio and go pick up you a Big B ebook bracketology challenge or bracketology guide, actually. And it's only $5. Very simple. No shipping involved. It downloads right to your phone or your computer, whatever. You got it right there. Go pick it up, go support, and go help yourself win some of these brackets. Moving on to Mahomes and the Chiefs. They clear up a ton of room. $21.6 million in cap space by restructuring his contract, which basically he just made some of it into a signing bonus, which we know how that works, is that you can do that when you re-up and you renegotiate deals, and you can usually do that I think it's twice that you can restructure. And then all of a sudden you got to pay the piper down the road. unless you keep re-upping. But they made room. Chiefs haven't done a lot in free agency, but did they need to do a lot? Or do we consider signing Chris Jones what they needed to do in free agency? I think you do. I think with the Chiefs getting Chris Jones back, I mean, technically he was a free agent. So it wasn't like they upped the deal or they signed him with 1 year left. No, Chris Jones was a free agent. So I think that is what they needed to do. You keep him in the fold. It's weird because the Dolphins did the exact opposite. The Dolphins had Christian Wilkins, a dominator on the defensive line, and they decided, nope, we don't need that guy anymore. The Chiefs, who've won back-to-back Super Bowls, say a 29-year-old in his prime that is one of the best defensive tackles in the league, if not the best, we need that guy. So different philosophies, but I tend to go with the people that won, that are winning. So that would be my thing. Mahomes trying to get more people. Zach keeps saying Seiler had better production than Wilkins. If you think that he's better than Wilkins, come on, Zach, you're lying to yourself, my guy. You are, and you know it. You are, then you know it. Let's see what his production is going to be this year without Wilkins, and then we'll have that conversation. But you know he's better. And not to mention, they don't play the same position. Why do you give him up? You build your team from the inside out. You don't build it from the outside in. You got to have those guys. You got to have those guys. And they gave up. It's costly. It's I don't know. Again, the world champs, the back-to-back world champs decided to keep a big-time pass rusher, interior lineman, and another team that's trying to get there decides they don't need that guy. Ugh. It's just it's weird. It's just weird. It's just weird. But I like what the Chiefs did. I mean, extending or renegotiating or restructuring, I should say, Mahomes' deal. Does that mean that they bring back Snead and they get him off the tag? So I think so. I think that means they get Snead off the tag and they can go get some other guys. You know, maybe a low-end number 2, maybe a number 3 receiver. And while they also backfill that position in the draft, because the draft's going to have a ton of wide receivers in it. Chiefs are setting themselves up. They're setting themselves up to be the favorites again. We'll see after all free agency and everything, lines into place. And we'll do a breakdown of what teams are good, which aren't, who's the favorite, all that good stuff. But looking at it right now, the Chiefs are setting themselves up to try to three-peat. It's tough to three-peat. We've never seen it. But the Chiefs are trying to get there. Chiefs are absolutely trying to get there. I love it. So, I love it. Gavin asking about the Eagles pickups. We'll get to that. But they're okay. They're okay. But I love what the Chiefs are doing. I mean, here's the thing about it. If you have Mahomes and you have Reed, they've just decided that we don't need a top-flight receiver. And not only did they decide that, they went out and proved we don't need a top-flight receiver, and we're going to go win Super Bowls, man. And it's just crazy. That's basically the same thing, man. And Hooligan says, Mahomes said, here, have some money to go get a wide receiver. Keep this team whole, and let's go get. And that's another thing is that Mahomes can say, you know what? I don't have to have absolute top-of-the-dollar money because of how much money I make off the field. So while I want to make a lot, don't get me wrong, it doesn't have to be, I don't have to set the market and every time I do a contract because I'd like to have some other people around so we can continue to be good. Other people have a different philosophy. They're like, hey, general manager needs to figure that out. I want all the money I can. I get that. So we'll see. We will see. But I like what the Chiefs did. I like what Mahomes did. The Chiefs are trying to set themselves up again. $22 million in cap space now, or 21.6, whatever. It's a lot of money to free up. It's a lot of money to free up with one contract. Usually you see teams, 2 or 3 guys to try to create that. They just restructured one deal. Chiefs are good. Good front office. They got something good going on there. Somebody says it shows Mahomes' character. He's just trying to win. He's just trying to win. You know, I don't even know if it says a whole lot about his character because Patrick Mahomes, for all we know, he could be an asshole. But assholes like to win too. So nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying that's what he is. I'm just saying he can be, but didn't matter. He just wanted to win. It's a good point. Didn't Brady do the same thing in New England? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Brady said, you know what? I make all this money off the field. I don't have to have the top of the line money. Doesn't need to be the top of the heap. I want to make good money, but I want to have a good team because I want to win. And that's how you do it. Different philosophies. I don't begrudge anybody for getting all the money that they can because, again, I don't count somebody else's money. So who are we to tell you not to make as much money as you can? That's crazy talk, in my opinion. Having said that, with salary cap restrictions, there's ways that you can and you can't do it. So good for him. Good for him. So let's move on, people. Let's move on. So I don't know if a lot of people even know this, but do y'all really know that free agency hasn't even officially started yet? Like seriously, do y'all know that free agency, like technically, it doesn't start until 4 p.m. today? All this stuff is what they call the legal tampering. The legal tampering. But yeah, free agency literally hasn't started yet. That's wild. It is wild. And with everything going on, crazy moves here, crazy moves there. I mean, people get excited, myself included, in free agency talk about as much as people get excited about the season starting. I mean, people, they love it. I love it. We all love it. But with free agency not technically starting until then, some people haven't made any moves or have been slow to make moves. Now, let me ask you this question. Is that posturing or is that just being a bad general manager? What's kind of your all's consensus? Because if you can start making deals, don't you start making deals? Because I think if you wait, you're going to be shit out of luck. That's just my opinion. And yes, Jerry Jones in Dallas comes to mind. I just think you've got to start making deals. Because here's the thing about Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones was an oil guy. Do you think he sat around and waited to make business deals? Do you think, okay, you can start making a deal right now? And he said, nah, we're going to wait a week before we do anything. We'll just sit back and see how it goes. Do you think he did that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, and that's the whole thing, man. But here's another thing, and we can talk about Dallas. We can talk about Dallas now. I think they're doing this. I think Jerry Jones is like, look, we got to pay Dak Prescott $60 million this year. I don't necessarily want to do it, but I'm not going to restructure Dak's deal again or re-up him. We're going to let this thing play out, and we're going to pay him this $60 million. And it's a $60 million cap hit. Well, you do the math, people. $255 million. You divide that by 60. Woo. That's a lot. He's 24% of the cap. That's a ton. That is a ton. So if he's at 24%, he's like then you need to hold your weight. You need to get us to where we need to go. I am not paying you another dime. I am not renegotiating. I'm not going to extend you. I'm not doing anything until you prove that you can do something here. I love that approach. Since it's been, if it would have been like 1 or 2 years or 3 years or even 4 years, okay. But what was this year? 8 for Dak? That's crazy. And yes, Mr. Yizzo, 24% is a ton of the cap space. So that's the whole thing. I think Jerry Jones is like, nope, we're not doing that. You want more money from the Dallas Cowboys? You prove that you have earned that money from the Dallas Cowboys. If not, we're not renegotiating, and we're going to move on next year, by the way. We'll keep you for this year, but we're going to move on. You better go win the Super Bowl or at least get to the NFC Championship game. If you don't, thank you for your services. Goodbye. As a Cowboys, any Cowboys fans out there, do you all disagree? I don't think any of y'all would disagree. And there's a lot of Dak people that don't, or people that don't like Dak anyway. My man, Pat Cockrell, he's a diehard Cowboys fan. Here he is, Cowboys going to the Super Bowl with that deep snapper signing. He was the X factor. I love it. I love it. I knew my man Pat was going to come in here and be upset. I know he's not upset with me. He's just upset at the situation. I get it, my man. I get it. The Cowboys are that's what look, people can disagree with Jerry Jones on a lot of stuff. And I do. I disagree with Jerry on a lot of stuff, and most people do. But in this case, if this is the posturing and this is what he's doing, Jerry Jones is right. He's just right. He doesn't need to pay Dak. Just, hey, this is your contract. We're going to let you play it out, and that's it. We'll see what you do. And either you win or you don't. We'll eat this $60 million that we got to eat this year, but we're not giving you another penny unless you prove that you can win. Period. And I like it. And it's also, here's another thing, people. It's not like Dak had made a ton of money already. I mean, let's not forget, the guy has made a boatload of money. So it's just the situation that they're in. Sometimes you just got to move on from a veteran quarterback. And I know a lot of people will say, well, who are they going to get that's better? And you would be right. But sometimes you got to be willing to just take that chance and bite the bullet and just say, we're not winning with this guy. Let's start over and see if we can find somebody else. Isn't that what you do? At some point, you just have to say, I can't win with this guy. I got to go somewhere else. Didn't they do that with Tony Romo? Tony Romo was playing. He couldn't win, but Tony Romo was playing good. He's just always hurt. He did the exact same thing that Dak did. Played good in the regular season, bad in the playoffs. Couldn't get him over the hump. And at some point, they said, we're done with Tony Romo because he got hurt. Dak played good, and they just said, nope, we'll stay with Dak. They didn't have to do that, but he did. So Price G says it sounds like Lamar. Kind of. We're starting to get to that point. Lamar hasn't done it as long, but we're starting to get to that point. Now, Lamar did take a step further this year because Lamar's been to an AFC Championship game. Now, he played lousy in it, but you're right. And we can say Lamar is actually good. Dak is good too. So, and if you're saying that Dak isn't good, you can remove yourself because you don't know football. Either that or you're a fan of a team that they play against. Dak is a good quarterback. Just can't get it done when they need him to get it done. Period. That doesn't make you bad. That doesn't make you bad at all. There's a difference between being good and bad. Bad is, who's a quarterback out there that's bad? And there's plenty of them. I can't even think of, basket case Tannehill or baby hands Pickett. Those quarterbacks are bad. Okay? Those are bad. And look, everybody, Drew Trubisky, Drew Lock, Daniel Jones. See, those are bad quarterbacks. You going to put Dak in that category? Stop it. Stop. Dak just can't get it done when they got to get it done. Same with Lamar. Can't get it done when they need to get it done. Period. But who's good and can get it done? Patrick Mahomes. You know, you could even say Brock Purdy did it this year. You know? So that's the difference with the quarterbacking situation there. I think what Dallas is doing, like they're going to lose their left tackle, I think is nuts. Now, I mean, Tyron Smith was still one of the top 5 left tackles in football last year. And I know he's had history issues or injury issues in the past. I get that. But he played a lot of games last year, and he was a second-team All-Pro. Not Pro Bowler, and I hope people know the difference between a Pro Bowler and an All-Pro. He was a second-team All-Pro. And he's still elite. So that's the difference. And for them to let him walk, I think is stupid. Let's just say that. It's just stupid. There's no reason for them to let him walk. Just pay the guy. And I don't even know what kind of money he's asking for, but isn't he worth it? Even if it's a 2-year deal. But maybe they're just ready. No, we'd rather have Smith as a left tackle. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Let's look over here. My man Pat Cockrell says, Jerry Jones isn't worried about winning. He only cares about keeping the star as the most valuable brand in sports. That's obvious with all the decisions he's made. Well, hopefully Cowboys fans band together and stop going to games and say, hey, until you put out a team that is worthy of going to watch, I'm not watching. I'm not going. I'm not spending my money. I'm not doing any of that anymore. Hopefully he does that. Yeah. Cowboys fans, stop buying merch. Stop buying merch. And says Cowboys aren't bad till the playoffs. You're exactly right. And that's what keeps the people coming back. That's what keeps people on the edge, is that they're good until the playoffs. And when the playoffs get here, they fall apart. It's a great point. It's a great point. So let's see here. What else do we got? Is it about what percent of cap good as a QB? We know what percent of a cap Mahomes is. That's what my man K-Ned said. So what is a good percentage as far as a cap space? I would say 15, 18%, somewhere maybe up to 20. But you could even say 24 if it's Patrick Mahomes and you're winning Super Bowls. When it's Dak Prescott, 24% is outlandish. That's the point, is that you can say that, oh, well, 20%, maybe not that much. And you would be right. But, or 24%. But if it's Patrick Mahomes and you are winning Super Bowls, yes, 20 is great. 24 is great. Hell, you could even say 30 would be great. But if you're Dak Prescott and it's 30%, then what? Then you're killing yourself. You know, that's the difference. That would be the big difference. So, what are my thoughts? I don't have any thoughts on the WWE. I do not watch wrestling. Let's see. As long as that contract is hurting the rest of the team. Bills get Matt Hollins. Yeah, what are the Bills going to do? I'm interested in what the Bills are going to do in free agency. They lost some guys. I don't think people were making a big deal yesterday on ESPN about losing Gabe Davis. I don't think losing him is as big a deal as what they were trying to make it out to be. I know a lot of Bills fans, when I talk to you guys, that they didn't think that it was that big of a deal either. Bills fans were like, yeah, he had a good game 3 years ago in the playoffs, but he can go. Am I wrong on that, Bills fans? So, am I wrong? Do you think the NFL should have a soft cap luxury tax like the NBA? Absolutely not. Nope, 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 nope. Because if that's the case, if people get mad at the Cowboys would win every year because they would be able to buy the most players and Jerry would just pay the luxury tax. Or a team like the Broncos now. They got the richest owners in the NFL. They wouldn't mind paying the luxury tax. They're worth like $60 billion or something stupid. They would just say, we'll pay the luxury tax. What's it going to be? $100 million? Okay. I eat that for breakfast. Here you go. So no. The way they do it is perfect. That gives everybody the opportunity to win. In the NBA, a team like Portland is not winning. Number one, it's not a good free agent destination place. But their owners aren't willing to fork out that kind of money when others are. You know, that's why I like the NFL. Everybody eventually has a chance to win. Look at Cincinnati a decade ago. They were horrible. And Cincinnati has been one of the cheapest teams in the NFL even today. They suck. And yet, now they're relevant. Now, the NFL made some rules. You got to spend 90% of the cap. You got to go up to that. Because you know Cincinnati, if the cap was $100 million, they'd spend 38, 42, and just pocket the rest of the money. And then their teams would suck. So, but eventually, they get better. So no, that would be a terrible idea. I get the premise, but I think it would be a bad idea. So, and Bill Kernan is saying that Cincy is probably pissed about the cap minimum. I'm sure they are. Because they don't want to pay. They don't want to pay at all. They again, for conversation's sake, if the cap was $100 million, they'd be more than happy to pay 47. We'll just get 47. We'll keep the rest of the money. We'll make it up the next year. Unbelievable. Again, as a reminder, everybody, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time with Big B Daily. We're live on TikTok. We're live on YouTube. TikTok, keep tapping the screen. We got to get to 5,000 likes and at least 30 new follows. So if you're in here and not following, please give us a follow. We appreciate it. Cowboys sitting on their hands. Yeah, we talked about that. I just think the Cowboys might be posturing a little bit. They may just be posturing. So, what do you think of the Bengals signing Jefferson? You mean getting Justin Jefferson? That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So, with the kind of money that he's going to command, you're going to pay him and Chase and Burrow? They'll have nothing left. So, no, it's not going down. It's not going down. Or somebody's going to leave. And we already know T. Higgins is going to be there because he's on the tags. Yeah, Justin Jefferson, it's not happening. So, Chase acting like it's happening. Chase wants it to happen. So, they're not going to trade T. Higgins to the Vikings for Justin Jefferson. And the Vikings would be absolute idiots if they did that. They would be absolute idiots if they said, we'll just trade Justin Jefferson for T. Higgins just so they can save some money. But I don't know. Maybe they are going to do that because what's Minnesota going to do at quarterback? I mean, they signed Sam Darnold, and we know he ain't the future. So what are they going to do at quarterback? So, we'll see. Again, Minnesota is not going to trade Justin Jefferson for T. Higgins and a first-round pick. They're just not going to do that. They're not going to do that. I take that back. I take that back. They shouldn't do that. You don't know what people will do. I can't read a crystal ball and get in somebody's head. But if you want to give up the best receiver or at least a top 3 receiver in football, maybe that's how they should reset and say, hey, we don't have a quarterback. We need a quarterback first. So I don't know. Maybe they trade T. Higgins or Cincinnati and get T. Higgins, a first-round pick, and then they trade up, use those 2 first-round picks to go get a quarterback this year. We'll see. A.J. Brown is the best wide receiver in the league. No, he's not. He's good, but no, he's not. Jetta's trying to win. He's going to the Chiefs. I don't think Jetta's has a choice on where he goes because he's not a free agent. Chase is not. Chase is better than who? A.J. Brown? Bo Nix to the Vikings? I hope they don't do that. They'll regret it. What's going on, Coach K? What is going on? Hooligan says, I'm sure the idea is appealing to Burrow, Chase, and Jefferson from a production standpoint, but the money would be almost impossible to hit. Absolutely. There's no way they're going to pay those 3 guys what they're going to command to be paid and keep a competitive roster. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So I know people want it to happen, and Cincinnati fans, oh, he's coming. Yeah, well, again, you're one of the cheapest teams in professional sports. Not happening. Cooper Kupp. What about Cooper Kupp? I like Cooper Kupp. I like him. Let's see. Do you think the Steelers, what do the Steelers do? I like what the Steelers did. I'm nervous about getting rid of Deontay Johnson, though. I'm a little nervous about getting rid of Deontay Johnson. I'm just not sure that they've replaced him or that they're going to replace him. So that makes me a little nervous. Going to Carolina, that's good for him. He's probably only going to be there a year unless they give him a deal, which he'll stay. But, yeah, I just don't know. And the cornerback that we got back, maybe he'll be good. Maybe he won't. We'll see. I'm just not sure. Dante Jackson, he started all 16 games, and Carolina was either going to trade him, which they did, or release him because of his salary cap number. And the Steelers did need a corner. So I think he's an upgrade other than Joey Porter Jr. He's an upgrade over what we have. So we'll see, though. We'll see what happens. How do you feel about Russell to Pittsburgh? I like it. Russ is going to cook in Pittsburgh. But I can't get behind, hey, it's Steeler country, let's ride. I can't get behind that. If he comes out with that, I'm going to be out on Russ. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm going to be out. So, no, let's cook, let's ride, none of that. Just go win some football games. Let's go win some football games. So, he said, let's weld in Pittsburgh. Now, that's funny. Steelers country, let's weld. Oh. Yeah, I did. I'm nervous about our receiving core now. But the one thing that I do know, if the Steelers can't do anything, they can draft wide receivers. That part I know. So, and I'm assuming we'll probably try to get one in the 2nd or 3rd round of this year's draft because there's going to be a ton of receivers out there. So the Steelers do that well. They've always done it well. So I don't see why that's going to change anytime soon. Good for us. Good for us. My man Jaden Fair, he is saying, my Packers are making great moves right now. Yes, they are, Jalen. Yes, they are making great moves. They are killing it. They are absolutely killing it. So I like what the Packers are doing. I like that Josh Jacobs move. I like it. I do. At first, I didn't. I thought, Aaron Jones, but then I thought about it. Aaron Jones is hurt all the time. And even though Aaron Jones is better out of the backfield, I like Jacobs. I like that move. So my man Hooligan says he thinks Russell Wilson is on the revenge tour with the team he chose. He's going to put his head down and play ball on a prove-it year. I love it. I hope he does. And then the Steelers keep him around for another 2 or 3 years, and we can play really good football. I'm under no illusion that Russell Wilson is going to be the quarterback for the next decade, but I don't want him to be. I just want him to be good next year. And then we'll go from there. Just be good next year. So if the Steelers get Simmons, which a lot of people are talking that way, if the Steelers get Simmons, Justin Simmons, that would be to play along Mika Fitzpatrick, Steelers got something. So the Steelers got something. Who do the Bucs sign? I think the Bucs did sign some people. They just weren't free agents, technically. Well, I guess technically they were. They signed Mike Evans and they signed Baker Mayfield. So Trey Lance steps in if Dak doesn't deliver. I mean, they kept him around for some reason. I don't know the reason, but they kept him around for some reason. I don't know. Don't know. But we're going to shut this one down today, people. I appreciate everybody being here. So I've got to run. I appreciate y'all being here. Again, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Time. Big B Daily. We're live on TikTok, live on YouTube. We appreciate everybody that's in here, man. Thank you, guys. Do me a favor if you're on TikTok. Please give me a follow if you're not following already. Secondly, go and subscribe to Big B. That's the second thing. Third, go click the link in the bio and go subscribe to Big B Sports Talk on YouTube. Go do that. We appreciate all of that. We appreciate everybody. And then everybody make sure you get a Big B bracketology guide, man. Go pick you up one. It's $5. Very simple. It's an ebook. It'll help you win your tournament. It'll help you win those office brackets. All of that good stuff, man. March Madness is here. It's here. So go pick you up one. It's $5. That's all you got to do. Very, very simple. Matter of fact, if you subscribe on TikTok, you can do that. Boom, boom, boom. Get you an ebook, and you can use the promo code, and it's free. So we appreciate it. We will holler at you guys tomorrow. Aloha.